Hey everyone, thanks so much for coming to watch this video. I'm going to show you how to use these lip balm containers to turn them into candy lip balm. So this isn't lip balm, this is actually candy, but we're using the lip balm containers. It's lots of fun and easy to do. We're going to start by gathering all of our candy. So I'm going to make 6 different lip balms. And I have my bubble gum here, and I have some delicious Coke bottles. I have some Airheads. Everybody loves Airheads, I think, I hope. And I have some squishy gummy bears that work really well for stuff like this. And of course, my favorite Starburst minis. And here are my lip balm containers. These are, well, 5 of them are Blistex, and 1 of them is the Lip Smackers, the pink one. And these work really well because you can just pour the stuff in. You don't have to worry about any sort of random holes like those baby lips. It's harder to make stuff like this. So I'm going to start with my Airheads, and the reason why I'm starting with this one, I was actually going to end with the blue, but this one turned out the best. So, you know, it's so easy, and the most important part actually, you guys, is that you want to coat the container with oil. So I'm just taking off the label to prep, and you want to clear out your container, you know, with rubbing alcohol, soap, whatever you need to do, and just melt your candy. This took like 10 seconds as one Airhead, so it was super fast. And then you're just going to carefully put it in, and again, you want to coat whatever you're using with oil so that the candy slips off. And that's why I'm showing you guys this one, because I coated this one and for some reason I forgot for all the other ones, so you'll see that they end up being just a little bit different. They do end up working, it's just they don't come out as perfectly as this one as it was coated. And this has a really nice texture. The Airheads, you know, they're easy to pour in, they're not too sticky, and they harden quite quickly, and it makes things really, you know, easy to do. So just for fun, we're gonna, you know, reuse, because we're all into recycling and stuff like that. Reuse our label and just make it the size of the lip balm. And I use some Mod Podge to glue it on. I go into further depth with this in the next one, which is the bubblegum one. So make sure that you guys keep watching and let me know which one you like the best. So I have the Coke bottle, the Starburst, gummy bears, and I think that's it. And let me know which one you guys think turns out the best. So you don't have to use Mod Podge for this, and if you've never heard of that before, it's more of like a sealer. It's very similar to white glue, but it dries very clear, and you can use it as a seal and even just like a coating to make things super shiny. But if you only have tape or any other glue, that's obviously fine as well. So I didn't even have to put this in the fridge or anything, it just hardens on its own. And then you just screw it up, and then you have yourself a delicious and totally portable, and you can take little nibbles, you can do the whole thing, you can do whatever you want. I just think these things are super, you know, versatile, and it's nice that you can bring it wherever you want. You just put the lid back on, and then you're done. So again, this one was my favorite because it turned out so well. So we're going to move on to the Hubba Bubba bubblegum one. This one is extremely easy as it doesn't even involve any sort of melting. Just a reminder to wash your hands prior to doing any of this, and I recommend not making this for other people if you're going to use your hands like this. So just keep it to yourself, and it's a fun little activity to do. So again, taking off the label to prep for our bubblegum label. And so I ended up using these little teeny tiny Hubba Bubbas, but you can also use those big sort of disc ones, whatever you guys have on hand. So I'm just going to soften up this gum, and pretty much all I do is I shove it into the lip balm container. So I just sort of keep working it until it's skinny enough to do that, and it obviously will fit in eventually. And just a reminder to coat it with oil. So this is where I begin to forget to coat it with oil. And I kind of pay for it later. It kind of sticks a little bit, so just yeah, you want to remember that oil, and it'll work out just fine. Okay, so you can see how it does go up quite nicely, and again, the cool thing about this is that you can take little nibbles of your gum, and it's so cute. So I am prepping for the label, so I'm just using the wrapper that I have from the little bubble gum, and using my Mod Podge here, and I'm using a sponge to coat it. Okay, and then carefully put it on your lip balm. And you just want to make sure that before you put your Mod Podge or your glue or whatever, you want to make sure that the size of your little label is the same size as the lip balm, because you don't want to have pieces sticking out where you're supposed to turn it up, or sticking out at the top where the lid's supposed to, you know, seal up your candy. So just watch that, and I actually think it's better to have it a little bit smaller than bigger. And just like that, you have a super unique Hubba Bubba lip balm. And you know, you just snap that lid off, and then you just twist it up, and you can have a little nibble of bubble gum. Okay, moving right along to our Coke bottle gummies. So I actually found this the most challenging one that I did, as the Coke bottles get so stringy kind of deal when you melt them, and it's super weird, and it hardens really fast, and I don't know, it was just really hard to work with. So I don't even know if I'd recommend making this unless you're super patient, because it was kind of weird to make. So, you know, not as easy as the other ones. So I'm just showing you here that I'm gonna make the lip balm look like a Coke bottle. So I'm taking just 4 little Coke bottles and cutting them in half, and just make sure that when you do this, you ensure that the clear is completely clear. So the clear is better, or if you want to have a little bit of clear on the brown, that is fine. Take off your label to prep it for your Coke bottle label. There we go, and just a reminder to clean your lip balm container and put some oil in it. So again, because there's only just a couple little gummies here, this maybe takes 5 to 10 seconds. Just make sure that you guys watch it. I actually took out a big chunk of this. I think this was like my 3rd try doing this, because like I said, it actually hardened halfway through my pour. Like, it just stopped. So I had to do it again. You can even tell here that this is coming out extremely slowly, and this is actually even in fast motion, believe it or not. So it's hardening very quickly as it comes out, and yeah, and then it gets super sticky and stringy. So again, lots of fun, but also kind of I don't know, I don't want to say hard work, but just definitely weird to work with. Okay, and moving on to the top part of the Coke bottle. So just remember that when you do the brown stuff, to leave a little bit of space for this. So just a teeny tiny little bit of clear, just to give it the effect of a Coke bottle. And then again, you can just let it sit. Obviously, I guess if you live in a hotter area, it might not harden as quickly. So just keep that in mind. You might want to put it in the fridge. So for this one, I'm using a label from a Coca-Cola bottle, which I think gives it a really nice, authentic look for the Coke theme of the lip balm. And again, just using my Mod Podge to seal that label on. I'm definitely liking how this is looking so far. I really think the red label from the bottle is a nice touch. So I'm going to see how well this comes out. And if it's a little bit hard to turn, you guys just make sure you go slow, because you can actually snap the plastic. So you don't want to ruin your lip balm and have your candy stuck in there. So it appears to be coming out okay, but then you'll notice that it kind of gets stuck on one side. I don't know if you can tell that it's sort of the side facing down. So I had to stop videoing and, you know, rescue it so it could come out straight. And I think I fixed it pretty good, but just a reminder to use the oil. And even with the oil, if it gets stuck, just make sure that you, you know, sort of pull it away from the plastic so it doesn't rip. Okay, and here we have Starbursts, and this one also worked out extremely well. So in addition to the Airhead one, so if you're ever going to make one, I would say Airheads first and Starburst. And the good thing about this Starburst one, you guys, is that I didn't even microwave it. So, you know, maybe this might be someone's top pick, because they're so squishy, the minis, that you can just shove them right in there and there's zero melting required, and it still turns out really well. So I don't know, maybe people will pick this one over the Airhead one. I'm not sure. So get yourself a lip balm container. I have this nice orange, so I'm going to do orange Starburst, and of course take off the label and clean it out, wash your hands, all that really important stuff. So I'm gonna take some orange Starburst, and I'm just gonna soften them up and then put them in, and it really doesn't take much. I think it was like maybe 3, like it actually happened faster than I was expecting. Okay, so I've already cut myself out the label that I'm going to use for this, and just going to smear this in Mod Podge, and of course just carefully putting it on your lip balm to ensure that it's in the correct place. Okay, so far I am loving the way this looks. I love the shiny orange lip balm, and the label just looks really nice with it because it has that sort of shiny as well. And you know, I love Starbursts, so I can't help but love it anyways. And the best part is that there's no microwaving, and it does come out super easy. So all in all, this one I think is pretty good. Let me know what you think, you guys. Okay, and we're already on to the last candy that I'm using, which is gummy bears, and I'm going to make two. So I'm going to make a yellow one and a green one. So this coconut Blistex doesn't have a label, so that's just the way it is. And we're going to use yellow squishy, squishy, squishy gummy bears. And here's my green Blistex container with my green squishy, squishy, squishy gummy bears. So let's start off with the yellow ones, and just take a couple because these lip balms are actually quite a bit smaller than you probably think. Just a reminder that when you're microwaving, to use a microwavable safe dish, and preferably one with a little handle. You don't need to microwave this candy that long, so just make sure that you guys just do it 5 to 10 seconds at a time, as it really doesn't take long, and you of course don't want to burn yourself with this hot sugar. So that didn't take long, it's already full. I'm just going to let it sit and complete the green one, and then we'll get back to the labels. Okay, so green is looking pretty good, and I did 2 of them, you guys, just because I love the way the gummy bears melt and the way that they, you know, just make everything turn out. If you haven't checked out our edible iPhones using candy similar to this, my favorite actually is the gummy one, the gummy bear one. And it just, I don't know, it just makes everything look so good. It's shiny, it's clear, and their texture is super awesome. And it's actually quite easy to work with compared to something like the Coke bottle. I found quite difficult. Okay, here is our yellow gummy bear lip balm, and I'm really liking how the way the labels look on these. Gummy bears are just so cute, but also it's just so colorful. So let's see how well the candy turned out. So you'll see without the oil, it's kind of getting stuck on one side, so I'm just carefully pulling it out, and this stuff is hard enough that if I pull on it, it's not going to come apart. But again, the oil would be better, of course, but I'm still really liking the way that this is looking. It's super cool. Okay, let's check with the green gummy bear one. Okay, so as you can clearly see, there's one side that's getting stuck, but it's still coming out pretty squishy and pretty fun. And again, this stuff doesn't really change its shape too much, so you can turn it and it will come out in that lip balm shape. You guys, since this is the last one, please let me know which one you guys like the best, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and thank you so much for coming back and watching them. Of course, make sure that you guys comment, share, and like, and subscribe. Thank you.